Stop it. Go away. I hate you so much right now. Hello, YouTube. I I wanted to make a video kind of addressing like YouTube itself, not just like my buns or Twitter or whatever. I want to make sure that YouTube feels like they're getting their attention that they want and deserve. With that, I really hadn't been posting a lot in March, and for those who do follow me on my other platforms, know that March and early February were very, very difficult months for me. I was dealing with a ton of stress. My son had a concussion in January, in which he was hospitalized for. And then in February, he had another head injury. Both were at school. This time it actually gave him a laceration about 2 centimeters wide. And he had to get an MRI and 5 stitches in order to close it. The problem was that during that whole entire situation, the hospital that we are near do not admit children. And during his MRI, they were worried about a brain bleed. So we had to ride an ambulance all the way to a different children's hospital, and we had to stay there overnight, which they were out of beds for us to stay in because the flu was going around. And if you can imagine what a children's hospital sounds like in the ER all night, it's as pretty bad as it would be imagined. It was just screaming and crying all night, which it's not the children's fault. It's no one's fault. So it was just very exhausting for my entire family. Thankfully, my husband was not deployed at the time. I can't imagine going through that if he was deployed. Unfortunately, after that visit, I then had the flu, which I probably picked up at the hospital. I had the flu, which turned into pneumonia. So that went on for probably an entire week. The following week, my husband and my youngest son also ended up with the flu. Then the entire COVID-19 and coronavirus epidemic really started going on. And my other video about Taco, I was dealing with that whole entire situation, whether behind closed doors or in front of closed doors. Eventually, like I said in the video, we did hear about his passing, and it was a very, very difficult thing for me to go through. I have my community, my buns, my friends, my family, that we all went through it together. We all sat in Discord calls together, for 2 nights straight, and really just were there for each other, which was amazing. And then I went to Texas and was at his funeral. And his family gave me the honor of talking about Taco in the gaming space, which Taco amazing, and he's done so much for so many people who don't even know who he is. And then during all this entire craziness with the COVID pandemic, my husband's getting ready to deploy, which means that now we have to make sure our home is in a situation where I can care for it by myself. Because if you're a military spouse, you know how hard it is. You have a lack of friends, a lack of family near you to help you with these kind of things. So it was very stressful trying to find companies that were willing to work with you during this entire process. Thankfully, we did finally find companies to help us. But unfortunately, as all homeowners know, is there's always another problem. And that problem ended up being mold. We knew we had mold. We had airborne mold. It wasn't black mold. We scrubbed down our entire lower level, and I mean scrubbed it. We wiped walls, we wiped doors, we wiped baseboards, everything. I washed all my clothing in my master closet. It was an entire procedure that took 3 days, and I was exhausted and miserable. And then we demoed our laundry room where the mold was coming from. And unfortunately, we found out that there was black mold in our walls. So that entire situation has been extremely stressful. We're slowly trying to figure out what it's going to cost, what we have to do, and it's an entire process. Along with all this, as I'm sure other parents are doing, is distance learning, which my eldest son is in IEP, which is essentially special ed classes for speech and reading. So for him, I'm dealing with 3 different teachers who aren't used to this. And, you know, they're trying, and I understand they're trying, and I understand this is new for everyone, but it's very frustrating for me as well. And my youngest is also in distance learning. And some of you may say, well, why don't you have your husband help? Because, you know, he's there. And the simple answer would be as I don't want his help. I don't want his help because I don't know how long this is going to last. And if he's deployed during this entire situation, I need to know that I can handle it. It's something that I've learned during many deployments, is that I need to get used to dealing with it, handling things on my own. So that way, when it has to be myself, that I'm not overwhelmed and stressed. So I'm starting to get better at it. We're almost the entire week, and I'm starting to get there. But unfortunately, that time then cuts into my content creation time, and I will never put content creation before my family. My children's education means more no matter what. So I hope you can forgive me if videos are slower or if they're shorter because they're just Twitter shorts. It's something I'm trying to work on while keeping a balance of a family. I had my 2-year anniversary stream last week, and that was amazing. And I am so thankful for everything that the Twitch has given me. So many friends, so many family members. Huge shout out to my sponsors, Corsair. They reached out to me and gave away even more product. And on Wednesday, my entire community kind of fucking broke me. Like I said, we've been dealing with a lot of stressful situations with our home and with our life, and they apparently had been planning something since December for me. And I think the hardest part, the situations like these, you know, you always get very emotional, but I think the hardest was seeing Taco's message. And like I said during stream, but maybe some of you didn't hear me, is, you know, I'm so thankful and I'm humbled by everything you did, everything you keep doing, and the strength that you showed to look in that Discord, see Taco's message, and make that video every day since his passing March is insane to me. And I love you guys. Really do. Me and my husband talk about it a lot. That we're so thankful that when he's deployed, I have so many other people in the virtual space that care about me. Not just as a streamer, but you care about me as a person. You know, I wanted to do a personal update for YouTube. I wanted it to be more personal because, you know, you may not catch the streams, you may not want to catch the streams, you may not pay attention to social media or anything like that. So I figured this would be a great way to update you. Until next time, bye.
Christ. What the fuck? What are you doing? What the fuck? What is that? What the fuck is going on right now?
That's not real. That's not real. What's going on? What is that? You did this to me, Tetris. Sluggy, when I first saw your stream in Just Dance, I'll admit I wasn't a fan of this kind of content because, as usual, it wasn't my ideal place for someone who is deaf to hang out. But I noticed something from your stream that I never saw in anybody else's stream that's captions. Granted, it wasn't the best. We know. Be involved. I was involved with you and your amazing community that you built all because of captioning.
Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor.
I can't headbang right now. Thank you so much. I could hear and talk, but you knew how hard it was, and you could relate to our problems, even though you're just a hearing person. So thank you for being the medium for me and everyone else in the community, even fit. Oh. For those who don't know, Taco's no longer with us. This one. I miss him a lot. At your worst, I love you at your best. Tipsy. Fucking bitch. Y'all making me cry and shit.